Hello, everybody. Have another video. I want to share about the lineage of Abraham to Jesus Christ, which we call in Hebrew Yeshua. Blessings, family. Well, I wanted to definitely just put it out there like this. I'm just grateful to know of my heritage. And when you just look from Abraham to Yeshua, as you see how everyone how this actually lineage, which we would call a tree, a graph, are, before us. And when you look at Abraham, how he's linked to the 12 tribes, along with Isaac, along with Jacob, and of course, David, and of course, Yeshua. And if we just can just take a moment just to look and see of all the names that are on here, they are related to the descendants of the slaves that came on the ship to America and wherever those slave ships went. And according to Isaiah 11, there are uncles and our aunts and our grandparents and our great grandparents, and it just go on and on and on. And you can put as many great or grand. It's super amazing. It's super amazing. So when I look at the 12 tribes and you see all of them, you see that where David came out of the lineage of Judah. You see where Yeshua came out of the lineage from David's seed of Judah, of the 12 tribe. You see where Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Dinah, which is a female, a sister of theirs, were born by Leah. And that made where those were all not halves, but full brothers and sisters. Amazing. See, just super amazing. Then you look over at Dan and Naphtali. Then you look at Gad and Asher. Then you look at Joseph and Benjamin. And from Joseph, Manasseh, and then Ephraim. And it just, nothing beyond that, of course, but it just, we all related. And it just brings this alive to realness to know that we have a family tree. I mean, Ancestry.com don't have nothing on us when it comes to this truth. It's so amazing because when you look at how the family tree lines up and you see the important part, even coming down to the 12 tribes and to the wives, the wives of Jacob, which God gave him the name Israel. And those who are Bible reader, have read the Bible, which I encourage all to read the Bible, you know that Rachel was dear to Israel, which was Jacob's heart, which would make my great grandfather, some great, and then of course, Judah, and then Levi is what I believe that I know ones would say, well, Judah is where the Americans are and the slaves that came on the ship. They said, well, we Judah. But also the Almighty showed me a scripture, Deuteronomy 10 and 9, and which I'm, led to believe that I'm a Levite from that and from my just visions and different things he has showed. But on my, which was my mom's side, I want to definitely say my grandfather was of tribe Judah. So again, family, this is just beautiful to know that we have a rich heritage. And ones who've been putting forth this effort to line all this up on what you would say the internet they may never ever knew that this was going to be one day helpful to the ones that are waking up. Amen. So it's a lot out there, right? So just take a moment just to reflect and know that these are all our relatives, even going up it from to Ishmael, they're our relatives, all the way down to Zimmerman from the actually from Keturah, all Ishbak, all of them are our relatives. Esau, all of them are our relatives. And to the Almighty perfect plan, He'll unveil and He will make all things right one day. But we just going through a moment until He see fit to bring us out completely. So I just wanted to share this with you all. And I just got finished reading Matthew's, the book of Matthew's. I started it yesterday. And I end up, and I saw things in there, that you just assume because this is what you've been taught. And not one time I saw where they say they nailed him to a cross. I sure believe that Yeshua, Jesus Christ, was hung on a tree as Judas Iscariot. He went and hung himself. I truly believe that Yeshua was hung on a tree. From what the actual different scriptures throughout the Bible said, that he was hung on a tree. Not in that passage where they said that, I can't remember his name, one that was going to like bear his cross, like, take it, help him, but not where they said they nailed him to a cross in that passage. It was actually a saying, speaking of, was it casting lots? And that's like a game that you can throw dice. And if that's what's the way how they were playing the game, maybe to say what next they were going to do to him, to afflict him. But not one time where they said they put the, far as the thrones of, from the crown on his head, that scraped his head and made him, bled. But you all, let's just know. Anything that was told to us, we got to just drop it there. If it's put in your spirit by the Almighty to say, look further into it, there's a reason behind it. Because a lot, we've been told is propaganda to sell. All those crosses, people walking around on their, necklace, are in their homes, are in their churches, and all this. We got to understand. And even more, I pray that the Almighty bring further understanding. Amen. So that's all I wanted to say to you all, that we have a really rich heritage with a lot of rich stories, to go. And that's just even say putting aside the money or the gold or, the fat of the land. I'm speaking of just rich, of the history is just rich. And I'm so honored to be a part of it as an Israelite. Amen. So blessings, family. For those who are not saved on today, for those who are just coming on for the first time, have never been on and don't know that you are an Israelite. If you're descendants of slaves that came on the ship, wherever those slave ships went, and the bulk of the ones are still in Africa, in the sense of surrounding where the Almighty said He will gather the remnants from different places according to Isaiah 11. And my understanding is that from me reading in Ezra, it speaks of that when they left, northern tribe left Assyria, they went into a land that no man dwell, and they call the area Asethra. And that is known to be America, which was called Turtle Island. So still, of course, there are ones who are more studied than I, more learned than I, and you're welcome to share with me if that's to that truth. But that's what I got from it. And I've heard other people say it, but like I said, when I'm seeking the Almighty, I know He gives us bits and pieces, and then we bring it together and make it into a whole, like a puzzle. So I'm open if you know anything different and any scriptures. But that's how I believe that a lot of the ones that were here when Christopher Columbus said, "Oh, I came and I discovered America," and he saw black coals all up along the shores. There were black people. Amen. So we were here, most definitely. Hebrew, got witness of Hebrew from the paleo actual, Hebrew language. They have proof of it that was here in which we call America, the Americas. Okay, you all, take care. But just wanted to bring this forth to you all. Have a blessed day. Goodbye now. Oh, before I close out, let me just say this. Those who don't know who you are, I ask, and I definitely encourage you to seek the Almighty for this truth, because this awakening is here, and so much is going to be going on, which is according to the Bible and prophecies, and you don't want to get caught up in judgment. You want to make sure that you are in the right path and you're seeking Him accordingly for this truth, so you will know according to the will that He has for your life, and when He speaks to you and direct you, you will know His voice. Amen. Goodbye, you all.